Hello there, welcome back. My name is Teacher Gilberto, and today's lesson, guys, today we're going to talk about the adverbs of frequency. What? Have you ever heard it before, guys? Adverbs of frequency. Have you ever heard? No? Do I need this in my life? Do you think it's important this class in your life? Well, yes, guys. First of all, let me explain what is the adverb. An adverb change or qualify the meaning of the sentence by telling us how often or how frequently something happens are defined as an adverb frequency. So here, guys, this class will help you at the moment that you want to express how often or how frequently you do something. Do something? Yes, an action, a verb. For example, let's suppose that we are talking about eat. Well, I always eat. Always work as an adverb. I always eat. So, pretty much, guys, this lesson will help you if you want to provide how frequently you do your actions worse. It could be eat, take a shower, sleep, do your homework, watching television, play PlayStation, etc., guys. Any action word that came from to your mind. Sorry, you can take it as a question. Okay, so how to build a question using this class? Well, remember, guys, that if you want to ask a question, if your question belongs to your friend, belongs to your mom, belongs to your dad, belongs to someone that is in front of you, guys, you need to use the word do. Remember, the word do is always at the beginning of every single question. Do, it's a verb, yes, but also work as an auxiliary. Okay? Like this example. Do I need this in my life? Do right now work as an auxiliary. So do not forget those things. Now, how to build a question using an adverb at frequency? Easy. We're going to do the same procedure. Do you? And here, it could be any action verb. Do you eat? Do you play? Do you run? Do you write? Do you drink? Do you sleep? So on this position, guys, you need to write your favorite action word, or depends how you're going to build your question, right? So, but the clue here, guys, the clue here is that you need to add this. How often? How often? This group of words, guys, will help you to express yourself very well. If you say how often do you, is that you want to know how frequently or how often your friend eat pizza, or how often does your friend Miguel runs in the park. It's an example, guys, right? So, how frequently or how often somebody do an action word? Let's say eat, drink, sleep, write, jump, dance, sing, crawl, cry, etc. Right? How often do you play what? Now here I have example. How often do you play PS7? Wait a minute, PS7, PlayStation 7. How often do you play PlayStation 7? You see, we have this group of words. How often? Once again, this pair of word, guys, will help you if you want to know how frequently somebody do the action words, or how often. You can say how often or how frequently, okay? And obviously your question. Do you play PS7? So imagine, guys, that your question was simple. Do you play PS7? Do you play PlayStation 7? It is a complete sentence. It is a complete and correct form. Yes. But right now, guys, we like to know how often your friend eat pizza. So let's begin. Let's suppose that your friend is Mario. Mario, how often do you play PlayStation 7? And probably Mario will say, I never play PlayStation 7 because it doesn't exist, because it's unreal, because it's a pirate console, right? How often you play PS7? But what about this one? Pedro, how often do you eat? Well, I always eat, right? So always mean, guys, that every single day Pedro eats something. Yes, people eat every single day. Another one, how often do you drink coffee? If you don't like coffee, I say, oh, I never drink coffee. Okay, so this is the way that that you can build a question using the word, using this group of word, how often, which is basically at the beginning of your question. Remember, you need to add the auxiliary do if you want to do a question. Okay, do you play PlayStation 7? But right now, my question changed a little bit to another way. Right now, I'm asking how often do you, or how frequently do you do something? Okay. Now, what are the possible answers? The possible answers are this one. Here, guys, we have numbers. I always use numbers as activity, as a guide. Here, guys, we have 0%, 5%, 10%, 30%, 50%, 70%, 80, 90, and 100%. 0% means never, and 100% means always. If you analyze the whole chapter, the whole visual, you will see that they also have lower numbers like 5, 10, 30, 50, 70, 80, 90. Okay? It's not the lowest, but it's not the highest, right? So let's suppose that you don't like Coca-Cola too much. If I ask you, Ramon, how often do you drink Coca-Cola? If you don't like too much the flavor, you will say, let's suppose that you will decide 5%. I hardly ever drink Coca-Cola. Okay? If I say you, Ramon, how often do you wash your hands? Well, right now, we need to wash our hands often, right? So probably Pedro will says, I always wash my hand. Well, not always because it's impossible, but at least I usually or normally, right? If you live next to the sink or next to the water, well, you probably will say, I always wash my hands. But I mean, obviously it is impossible. It's kind of impossible, isn't it? Now, if I tell you another one, how often do you eat vegetables? Like lettuce, tomatoes, carrot, onions, and more. I love it. So I will say I always eat vegetables, which is 100%. If you don't like vegetables, but at least you like tomatoes, you probably will say this, I seldom eat vegetables. It's 10%. Because you said, you know what? I hate vegetables, but I love tomatoes. So that means that we have a hope that you will like vegetables, right? Because you say that tomatoes are delicious, so that means 5% of chance, okay? Another question, if I said, how often do you sleep in class? Well, it's impossible, right? You're not able to sleep in my class, so you probably will say, I never sleep in my class, or I never sleep in the English class, right? So this is the way. So this is the way that that we ask questions, and this is the way that we are asking information about how often somebody do something, or how frequently my mom cook pasta in the house, right? And that's it, guys. This is the end. All right, guys. See you next time. Take care. Ciao, ciao.